Hey everyone, I'm going to tell you about my top 5 settings for macro photography. The first one is zebra stripes. Zebra stripes are amazing for helping me manage highlights. If you have specular highlights in a macro photograph, it absolutely can wreck it. So I set it to 100 plus and I expose it so I see the zebra stripes on my subject, and then I tick back the exposure until those zebra stripes go away. This ensures that I have a solid image with everything important properly exposed. It's an absolute wonderful way to expose macro photography. The next thing that I'm going to set up is focus peaking. This is critical. Macro photography uses manual focus a lot, and manual focus can be extremely difficult if you're looking through the viewfinder or the LCD. So focus peaking alerts you to the area that is sharply in focus. So I like to set that one to low because it's actually more accurate, and the peaking color, I prefer to use yellow, or you can also choose red, and that's going to depend on what you're shooting. If you're shooting red things, you're going to want to choose yellow, and yellow things red. You want it to contrast as much as possible so that you can see the focus peaking grazing across the frame. The next thing that I'm going to do is map my focus magnification to a custom button. Focus magnification is already on in the camera, but I like to map it to the C1 button, and we are going to go to custom key, and we're going to go down to custom button 1, which is by default set to white balance, and we're going to choose focus magnifier. And this allows me to punch in and get that focus peaking very precisely on the area as I turn my focus ring. So the next thing I'm going to do is set up my color in camera. The first thing I'm going to do is set the color to Adobe RGB, and then I'm going to choose the creative style Autumn Leaves. I like to customize that based on my picture, but Autumn Leaves is a great starting point for beautiful flower or landscape images. To customize Autumn Leaves, I choose Autumn Leaves in the menu, and then I arrow over to adjust contrast, saturation, and sharpness. And it will depend on the subject that I'm shooting. Sometimes you have a very saturated subject and I can tick the saturation back. Other times you might have a washed out scene and I'll increase the saturation, but that's the main one that I adjust. I don't usually adjust sharpness too often, but contrast and saturation are the two that I like to adjust based on my subject. The next and probably the most important thing that I do is manage white balance. For my images, I absolutely love the cloudy white balance. So I'm going to dial that in here. I like warm images. I don't like cool images, so cloudy white balance seems to play well with daylight images, interior images, and it actually works really well with continuous lighting and strobes as well. It gives just enough warmth so it doesn't seem cold and sterile, but not so warm like shade that would be over the top. For years I custom white balanced, but I've been really, really happy with cloudy, and the people I've recommended it to have been as well. So these are my top 5 settings for great macro photography. Go out and try it yourself and you'll get great results.